Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Narasim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. So I came across this video. Shout out to this sister and everybody that I lifted their video. And everything she said was actually right on point. Now it looks like there is WAR, and then it looks like, yeah, there is, but there is not. The truth is that there is, but when you say there is, but I am not seeing anybody and fighting or trying, struggling, and all that. But it is, and it is not. You have to look very well to know what is happening and what it's not happening. Sometimes it is when you know your history that you will be able to know where somebody eye you, if that person was just joking or the person is serious. Because when you are grounded in your history, everything that happens around you, you will be able to grasp it. So this man was also talking about why is it that they are, especially white people, do not like it when they say that they are going to pay black people reparations. The truth is that there has never been a time you guys are happy with black people getting something or being able to have something for themselves, because it is always like, why would they be better than us, or will they be bigger than us, or something like that. The truth is that at most times when I talk about how these people actually do not want some certain things to end, especially when it comes to classism, racism, and all that, they may not have any other person to. Let's get into.
Let me be real clear, and I need y'all to hear me like our lives depend on it, because they do. We are not in a political debate. We are in a war, not a metaphorical one, not a symbolic one, but a strategic, well-funded, policy-backed, legally armed war for the soul of this country and the bodies of every person that don't fit the mold of a straight, cis, Christian, white man. And the wildest part is half of y'all still don't see it. You're playing checkers on a chessboard that's already been cleared. You think that they're just coming for trans folks, for queer kids, for immigrants, for poor people. No, baby, they are coming for order, and they're bringing chaos as a battering ram. White men, the most coddled demographic in American history, have finally realized that they are no longer the majority numerically, and so now they're using power, policy, and platforms to cling to what they can't reclaim, which is control. They've decided that they can't run the show, and so they'll burn the whole damn theater down. And the gag is they told us. They told us who they were when they showed up in Charlottesville with tiki torches and khakis, when they stormed the Capitol in broad daylight. They banned books, rewriting the ones they left behind, outlawing truth, targeting teachers, sterilizing trans care, gagging free speech, gutting Medicaid, criminalizing being poor, being black, being alive. And while they are passing laws, we're posting memes. Y'all keep waiting for the moment to get bad enough. The moment was Roe. The moment was George Floyd. The moment was Post. The moment was Trayvon, was Uvalid, was Obergefell being threatened. It was Tennessee banning drag. It was Florida erasing history. It was Texas legalizing bounty hunts on uteruses. It was Alabama writing segregation back into the books with a fresh coat of Christian nationalism. It was Trump saying quiet and screaming at the same time. And it was us arguing over which identity would lead the resistance while the fascists were halfway through their takeover. I am not here to play with y'all. I am not here to say vote, and that I hope that you remember to vote in November. I am here to say mobilize or get mowed the down. Because while we're dissecting microaggressions, they're orchestrating genocide in suits and ties. And if that feels extreme to say, then you haven't been paying attention. This country is on fire, and instead of water, most of y'all brought vibes. White supremacy doesn't need a new plan. It's using the same playbook that it always had. Divide, distract, dominate. And what are we doing? Sitting in silos playing the oppression Olympics, letting respectability politics babysit our rage. And that ends today. I don't care if you're gay, bi, trans, poor, disabled, undocumented, formerly incarcerated, fat, femme, sex working, devout, disillusioned, or just trying to make it through the next week. If you are not white, cis, straight, or Christian and a man with inherited wealth or generational impunity, you are on the list. And if you think for 1 second that aligning yourself with whiteness, with maleness, with neutrality will save you, baby, you are building the gallows with your silence. So let's get honest. You want to know why they're winning? It's because they unify in fear. You want to know why we keep losing? It's because we fracture in ego. The right builds armies and the left builds hashtags. This is your clarion call. If you were wondering where the revolution is, it's wherever you are standing. If you were wondering what to do, start where you are. Call your lawmakers. Shut down your boardrooms. Go and fund Black and queer and trans-led organizations. Walk out, sit in, raise hell, and do it now, because when they come knocking for the next person, don't don't you dare act surprised that there is nobody left to answer the door for you. If it gets you fired, let it. If it finally makes them mad enough to see you, let it. Because, baby, if we don't act, we are not surviving. We are surrendering. And I don't know about y'all, but I wasn't born to die quietly. I was born to be a problem. So let's become a problem that they can't solve together.
Why are Americans so obsessed with, like, who deserves what? You know, whenever they talk about they're going to do welfare, they're going to do reparations, whatever it is, people go, well, it's about who deserves it. Who deserves it? I don't get any. I deserve it. It's like, I actually don't give a shit who deserves payouts from the government. To me, it's a net positive whenever anyone gets the help they need. Whether they deserve the help or not is irrelevant. Whether they morally, did something fucked up, and I don't care. If someone's life got better because of a payment from the government, I'm happy. Even if I didn't get one, because I'm not a selfish prick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care if poor people deserve the money. They need it to live. So give it to them. Like, it's not that fucking hard to understand. People complicate it. People don't get mystified with all this shit. People love to complicate this kind of thing. It's not that complicated. Oh, look, people are starving because of the material conditions we've put them in. Okay, well, if we gave them money and aid, they would not be starving anymore. Then we should fucking do that. Like, I don't know. Oh, look, because of the conditions, mostly exacerbated by racism and also racism and government policy that was racist and all of this, black people have much less generational wealth than white people. Okay, well, we could remedy this. Well, but they didn't earn that money. Okay, I don't care. Like, I don't care. It would help people. Why are you so adamantly against helping people because of some weird, like, balance of, like, deserving? It's fucking weird, man. Do reparations because it would help people. That's why why am I in favor of reparations for slavery? Because it would help people. And because I think they deserve it. But aside from that, it would make people's lives better and it would decrease the wealth gap between black and white Americans. That would be good. So I'm in favor of it. Like, it's not that fucking complicated. It's ridiculous.
What exactly do you love so much about America right now? No, seriously, what is it? Is it the fact that Trump is pushing us closer to legalized slavery? That people are being imprisoned without due process just for the color of their skin? We're starting to look like a damn dictatorship, one of those countries we used to point fingers at saying, that could never happen here. Well, guess what? It's happening. Is that what you mean by great again? Or is it that he's trying to drag us into another war? We've lost nearly every ally we've had. We're stripping food and health care from children. We're putting our elderly at risk. Oh, and let's not forget the 74.3% tax increase on people making under $30,000, all while billionaires can go buy another yacht. Is that what MAGA means to you? Because it sure as hell doesn't look like greatness to me. He's even backing laws where when you die, your house, your money, your savings go to the government, not your family. Tell me how that benefits you. Seriously, what is Trump doing that actually helps you or your family? Groceries? Not cheaper. Gas? Still high. Rent and mortgages? Psh, forget it. You can't even say no new wars anymore. And don't you dare say he brought us together. This country is more divided than ever. So again, what's so damn great about this? What is MAGA really about? Is it just about hating the people you don't like? Is it about feeling powerful when you're cruel? About getting permission to mock people who don't look or think like you? Because let's be real, that's what it's always been about. You scream, think of the children. But where were you when immigrant kids were ripped from their parents? Where were you when an 11-year-old girl took her life after being bullied by your people threatening to call ICE? You want me to care about your community getting flooded or hit with disaster? But y'all cheered when Trump defunded FEMA and the National Weather Service? So now, when places like Texas or Kentucky get wrecked, you're out here begging for GoFundMe donations? You voted for this, and now you're drowning in it. Meanwhile, Trump's nowhere to be found unless he's peddling sneakers or attacking veterans online. But keep wearing the hat, right? Because you think it makes you part of something bigger. But it doesn't make you part of greatness. It makes you a pawn in someone else's game. Trump's getting richer. You're working more jobs, paying more for less, and calling it freedom. You think you're taking your country back? You're handing it over and getting scraps in return. MAGA was never about making America great again. It was about making cruelty acceptable again, making division patriotic again, making ignorance powerful again. But I see through it, and you should too. Because if this is greatness, then America never had it in the first place.
So I just saw good old drunk millennial talking about there was no party switch. And that black people are voting with the party of the KKK and blah, blah, blah. Okay. You know what? Let's go there then. Okay. I've said this before, but I've never gotten a definitive answer. Why is it that when it comes to Republicans and black folks, the only place y'all can go is slavery and the Civil War? It's almost as if you can't think of anything else that the Republican Party has done for black folk. But this time I'm going to go a little bit deeper than that. You can continue to talk Democrat, Republican. I'd rather talk conservative or conservatism and progressivism. You see, what y'all thought were Democrats were actually conservatives. You know, it's in the name. Conserve. Traditionalist. And they have always, the conservative movement, regardless of what political party they've identified under, have always tried to conserve a way of life and profit over people. Whether it's cotton, whether it's rice, whether it's sugarcane, whether it's human bodies, whether it's the land that people walk on, whether it's the natural resources of said land. They have always put profit over people. The progressive movement has always put people over profit. Y'all have called it communist. Y'all have called it socialist. Y'all have called it free money. Y'all have called it handouts. Whatever you want to call it, it is taking care of the people before business makes a profit. So imagine this, if you will. How is it that a guy like Strom Thurmond and David Duke vote the same? And how is it that they vote for the party of business, of conservatism? Now I know what you're going to say. Well, Strom Thurmond started out as a Democrat. He did. And what made him change? Do you remember? It was Truman's idea of integration, starting with the United States military. That was the catalyst for a guy like Strom Thurmond to leave the Democratic Party. Now, in any other normal circumstance, in any other time in history, Strom Thurmond would have been the perfect Democrat because he had conservative ideology. And David Duke, I mean, come on. Can you imagine David Duke voting for a Democrat? Can you? Probably not. And do you know why? Because his brand would not be welcome in a Democratic Party that is progressive. So when y'all jump y'all asses in DeLoreans and go back to a time where muskets was the most dangerous weapon in America, you fail to forget, or you fail to remember that it wasn't about political affiliation. It was about ideology. That's why the conservative movement became Republicans, and the Democratic Party became the home of progressive thought processes. Because if this mythical party change had not happened, according to y'all, both David Duke and Strom Thurmond would have still been Democrats. George Wallace would have been a Democrat. Bull Connor would have been a Democrat. But they weren't. They were conservatives. Not progressive. Because a progressive would have said, hey, these people are Americans, they pay taxes, they should be able to live wherever they want to live. Now, don't get me wrong. Black folks realize that neither one of the political parties give a fuck about us. We've always known this. Because of the actions of the conservatives and the silence of the progressives. It didn't matter what side of the political aisle or what political affiliation they had. We knew for a fucking fact we were on our own. That's why Malcolm X said, I stand before you, not as a Democrat or a Republican. Because he wasn't. But conservatism found a home under the Republican banner. Why do you think that is? Why do you think so many racists, white supremacists, Nazis, 3%ers, Oath Keepers, Proud Boys, why do you think they're Republicans? Why do you think they feel at home in the Republican Party? If it was the way y'all said it, they would all be Democrats, wouldn't they? This is why asking y'all, what else has the Republican Party done since the freeing of the slaves fucks y'all up? Because it requires you to think outside of Republican Democrat and start looking at conservatism versus liberalism or progressivism. That's hard for you to do. Because if you could, you would realize that the parties have switched. I think deep down you know that the parties have switched. You don't want to say nothing, but you already know. The parties have switched. Because you don't see David Duke at a Vice President Kamala Harris rally, did you? You didn't see David Duke answering phone banks for Hillary Clinton? You didn't see David Duke saying that they were going to enact Barack Obama's policies? And if you ask David Duke, beyond the racist bullshit, beyond the racist fuckery, if you asked him, he would tell you that he is a conservative Republican. Why is that? So when you jump your ass back in the past to try to say, this political party freed the slaves, this political party owned them, and we go, what about the ideologies that make up those parties? Which is where the switch became, or where the switch went, or how the switch ended up being. Strom Thurmond didn't leave the Republican Party to become a Democrat. George Wallace wasn't saying progressivism now, progressivism tomorrow, progressivism forever. No. The Klan adhered to the conservative ideology of conserving their superiority over everyone else. And when people like Strom Thurmond left the Democratic Party because of integration, guess where they went? So you can be mad when we bring this up, and you continue to hold on to that bullshit ass non-vibranium made out of aluminum Captain America shield of the Republicans freed the slaves and the Democrats were the party of the KKK. That doesn't really jibe well today, though, does it? It's a simple question. Who does the Klan vote for now? And why would they feel so comfortable in a party that you swear up and down hasn't switched, which means they would still be progressives? Just think about it.
This is all I got from this video. And I am going to say this. If black people are working with the KKK party, I mean, who are they working with as Saturday? Because people are because the last time I checked, the people that I saw walking around or on the street are not black people. The people that I see invading black communities are not black people. They are these people that are triple K. So what is he trying to tell us, or what is he trying to tell me? See, there are some stories you tell people that do not understand black history, because you might be able to convince them why they don't know anything. But there are some things you don't tell people that know history. They know their history. I understand, right? Back then, Republican and Democrats, the people that are for slaves and the people that were against slave. But what we are talking about today is how come the ones that fought for slaves are now the ones that want to start slavery, or they've started already? Because if I say start, it looks like there is something that I do not know what is happening. So because you freed slave, for that reason, I am still supposed to stick with you today, that you are also trying to make me that. Now, let me tell you, there is always this adage that I say, it's only a tree that you tell that I am going to come here and cut you tomorrow. That you come back that next day and you still see the same tree standing, and then you cut the tree off. Because that is not human being. And I want you to also know that some human beings are also like a tree. But it is only a tree that you tell that will still stay. But human beings, most especially, will never stay. A very big shout out to that sister who poured it all out. She really came through. The truth is that I love the fact that my people know what is going on. There is nothing like awareness. There is nothing like knowing your history, because when you know your history, you save yourself from so many things, from repeating it. If you know your history, you definitely will be able to overcome so many things. The truth is that black people, most especially, there is a WAR going on around you. And it takes only people that are, you know this already, right? What are you doing to quench what is going on? It is by knowing that there are some things that you are supposed to do, and there are some things you are not supposed to do. The people that are trying to, some people will come as slave masters, right? In Christianity form, because this is more like what it's going on. If you see, sincerely speaking, I don't know how to explain it, but if you sit down, you definitely will see what played out back then, trying to play out again, maybe in just a little different way. Because you see them, the MAGA, all screaming in the house, they are Christians, they know God, but they are the same people that want you to suffer. It's easy to recognize them. It's easy to know them. That is, are you knowledgeable with your history? I will not stop emphasizing on knowing your history, because when you know your history, you will know when somebody stepped on, when, if I step on you now, you definitely will know if it is a mistake or it's not. It's so vital. You don't know why they haven't paid reparations.